I've had a lot more success at the Oval than at Lord's. I mean, the two big London grounds. And I remember playing quite a few test matches here against England, of course. And my performances, I would say, were reasonable. I think I got a nice 100 against likes of Devon Malcolm and all those guys in the past. We won the ICC Champions Trophy in 2004. And again, that has brought back a lot of great memories to me, just being on this facility. It's just a magnificent facility, and I've seen it grown over the years. I started playing internationally here, I think maybe back in 1990-91 was my first tour. And since then, the Oval has kept its uniqueness, but it's also, has introduced quite a few little modern parts in it, and I do enjoy coming back.
Obviously there's quite a big West Indian history at the Oval, Big Richard's famous match. How much has this ground inspired you as you were looking to make your way in the game?
Well, first of all, any tour to England was a big inspiration for any youngster. And growing up watching Test cricket, I can remember the burnt out field in 1976, I think, when the West Indies played here, and Viv Richards was at his very best, and we had a 4-pronged pace attack as well. Close proximity to England and the Caribbean and the history behind it, I think it lends itself to any youngster wanting to play for West Indies, dreaming about playing at the Oval, dreaming about scoring a Test 100 at the Oval. And I've had that opportunity to play along with a lot of other West Indians who have done well, and I think it's like another proud moment. Just like there are two big venues in London. This is my favorite ones in terms of getting runs. I love batting out here. I think it's fair on both bat and ball, and I've enjoyed it over the years.
You obviously had quite a long time in the English county game as well. So what's your feeling towards cricket in England in general and the way it's treated in the country?
I think it's awesome. I think the people have accepted, maybe the slowest thing, accepted the shortest version of the game. Franchise cricket, I know that is not happening in England yet, but I think it's very adventurous, and I believe that the English public, first of all, the spectators, have always been very fair. You go to Lord's or you come here and you sit down and you do something special. I think they do appreciate it. So for me, over the years, just being in this sort of environment, being in England, be it county cricket, be it West Indies versus a county or an international match, whatever type of cricket, I think that it's maybe one of the best atmosphere to be in, one of the fairest atmosphere to be in. May not be as loud as other places around the world, but I know you're sitting amongst and you're performing in the middle of people that are astute thinkers of the game, people who appreciate the game, people who may have been watching the game 50 years early on. So it's always not mind-blowing, but it's always been very close to me in terms of performing in English conditions, performing in these kind of stadia.
For you as a middle order batsman, do you remember the biggest challenges that you faced when you were walking out into the middle? Was there anything specific about the Oval that was challenging?
Well, I mean, in England, especially at the Oval, is that when you do get set, I think you can sort of, pencil in a big score. The fact is, you've got to get set, and I think the opposing bowlers realize that. They got to throw everything at any good batsman very early, first half an hour, 45 minutes, because if he gets accustomed to the pace and bounce of the pitch, he can go on to score big things. So I've had my successful periods, but I've also had times when I'm in and out, in a jiffy, I'm, no runs at all. But it's just been very good.
It's England versus South Africa this summer that'll be here. How much do you know about those two sides, and what kind of series are you expecting?
I think England has become a much more aggressive cricket team in all forms of the game. So I expect England to start as favourite. I mean, South Africa is a team that they don't lie down. They've got some very good players, and they got some players who have, a lot of experience, maybe on the second half or the back half of their career. So they're not gonna come here and show lack of experience. I think they're gonna be a tough team to play. I'm more concentrating on August, September when the West Indies comes out. We have a very young team, and I'm hoping that they can show some sort of form in these conditions. These are cricket playing conditions. They're very fair, as I said, to both bat and ball, and I'd like to see the West Indies do well.